If you're confused about Swiss travel passes, then this is the video for you. We're going to dive deep into all the different kinds of train passes, how they can help you save money, which the best one is for your trip, and why you should choose a particular one in a specific situation. So let's get started. Let's start with the mother of them all, the Swiss travel pass, the most heavily marketed and popular Swiss travel pass for a reason. It covers all the train travel, boats, trains, buses, trams. So it's perfect for people who are traveling a lot, traveling long distances, and also using all of the mountain gondolas and funiculars because you get big discounts on the majority of them, except for the Jungfraujoch, and you get a few of them for free, like Stanzerhorn and Rigi. So it's definitely very valuable and a worthwhile travel pass. And you also get 500 museums, which is crazy. So the majority of the museums are covered by the Swiss Travel Pass. There's a few exceptions, of course, but you can save 20 to 30 francs per museum visit, which when you add that on top of your train travel and your mountain gondola discounts is an amazing reward for the Swiss Travel Pass. The only thing is that it's quite expensive and some of the other options might be a better choice for your upcoming trip. If you want to dive deep into the Swiss Travel Pass, we also have a video right here you can check out, which tells you all the specifics and all the details so you can figure out whether that's the right pass. And the next one is one that a lot of people aren't aware of or don't know in detail, and that's the Swiss half-fare card. We locals buy them and use them all year long because it gives you 50% off all train travel and boats, trams, buses, just like the Swiss Travel Pass, but it's 50% off instead of completely free with the Swiss Travel Pass. Of course, you have to buy the Swiss Travel Pass. But the Swiss half-fare card is only 120 francs, so a lot cheaper, and it's good for 30 days, so it's not as limited as the Swiss Travel Pass. So it's great for people doing more flexible trips, shorter distances, and traveling less than with the Swiss Travel Pass, which is better for longer distances and bigger trips. It also gives you significant discounts on mountain transport, just like the Swiss Travel Pass. There's not too much of a difference there. So again, there's a video right here on that if you want to find out more detail on the Swiss half-fare card. And the next one is one you might not have thought of, and that's the Euro Global Pass, which is great for people passing through Switzerland, coming from outside of Switzerland and going to different parts of Europe, because it covers train travel throughout Europe and Switzerland at the same time. There's a few things it doesn't cover in Switzerland, so you need to be a little bit conscious of that and careful of where you're going to have to actually pay extra. It doesn't cover always, or in most cases, the city travel, so the trams, trains, the buses within cities, which is not a big deal, but it's something you need to think about. Of course, it doesn't give you the museums. It gives you less discounts on the mountain transport, usually 25% instead of the 50% you get with the other passes. And it doesn't cover all the railways. Some of the smaller ones are not included, but the majority are there. So most of your train travel will be covered. So if you're going longer distances within Europe, to Paris, to Milan, to Frankfurt, then it's definitely worth considering because it's also a little bit cheaper than the Swiss Travel Pass on a day-to-day comparison. So it could be a 7-day pass is $300 with the Global Euro, and it's $370 with the Swiss Travel Pass. It's a complicated calculation to figure out whether it's the right pass for you, which is why we actually have a service that can help you do that for a very affordable price. There's a link down below. You can jump in and see the details of that. But we've been doing this for dozens of people. So click the link down below if you're interested in that. Now let's get back to the other travel passes. And the other pass that many of you might not be aware of is the Day Saver Pass, which is a pass that gets you travel across the whole of Switzerland for 24 hours. So for 52 francs as of 2024, you can travel from end to end and back again within Switzerland, which could be a $200 trip, and you can get that for 52 francs. So it might be worth slotting in one Day Saver trip in a Swiss Flex Travel Pass, for example, if your days have run out, or if you're using the half-fare card and not traveling much, but one day you want to do the Glacier Express or the Bernina, then you can use that for that specific journey, which might be costing you otherwise 100 francs. So keep in mind the Swiss Day Saver Pass is also something you can book ahead on a specific day and get an even better discount. And I'll put that link down below as well. And the last spectrum of passes that we're going to cover are called the regional passes. Really worth checking out if you're staying in a specific region of Switzerland for a longer period of time. I would suggest 3 days or more is when you want to look at these. And let's start off with one of the most popular regions, the Jungfrau region, which is Interlaken, Lauterbrunnen, Grindelwald, and the Jungfraujoch and all of the mountain trips around there. They have a Jungfrau travel pass, which is valid for similar kinds of days to the Swiss travel pass. You can check out the link below. If you're doing all of the mountain trips and cramming them all in with a specific period of time, then it can be really worth buying this pass. And another thing to keep in mind is that you can get discounts on the Jungfrau travel pass if you have the Swiss pass or the half fare card, so you can do a combo of those and really get good discounts on all of your travels in the Jungfrau region. And on top of that, you also have the Berner Oberland Pass, which encompasses an even greater area than the Jungfrau area. So if you want to do boat trips on Lake Thun or Lake Brienz, which are on either side of Interlaken, or go further afield to the Oschinensee, or to Meiringen, to the Reichenbach Falls, or the Aare Gorge, or to Bern, or even jump over to Lucerne, or down to Brig, which is almost in Zermatt, all of that is covered by the Berner Oberland Pass, as well as all the mountain gondolas, except for the Jungfraujoch and the Schilthorn. But otherwise, all of the mountain trips are included in all these passes, which is absolutely amazing. So check out the Jungfrau Travel Pass or the Berner Oberland Pass down below. And the next regional pass that I want to let you know about is the Tell Pass, which is named after the famous William Tell, the arrow in the apple on his head. And that story actually took place near the shores of Lake Lucerne. And this pass covers all of Lake Lucerne and even a greater region almost to Zurich and a bit further south. So if you're doing a lot of mountain trips around Lucerne, it's definitely worth considering. Again, you get multiple days and different prices for kids, but the actual concept is very similar. You get all the mountain trips, you get the boats, the buses, the trains. So it's definitely worth it if you're going to be doing extensive trips in the Lucerne region. And for those of you heading down to Zermatt, there's a pass down there as well. It's called the Zap Peak Pass. I haven't found it to be worth most people's time because there's limited amounts of travel you can do within Zermatt, of course. Most of the gondolas are in town, or the trains like the Gornergrat, but this pass includes all of those mountain gondolas and trains. So if you're going to be doing a lot of traveling, a lot of hiking in the region for a very short period of time, then take a look at the Zermatt Peak Pass and see whether that's worth adding on to the other passes in your trip. And the last one is the Lake Geneva Alps Pass, which again is a regional pass for the Geneva Lake area. So starting at Geneva, going all the way up towards Vevey, Montreux, you get all sorts of discounts and mountain gondolas and train trips and so forth. The only thing to watch with this specific pass is it's a bit weird in terms of how it's kind of spaced out. You can only do 5 or 7 day passes, but it doesn't include all of those 5 or 7 days. Go figure. So what they do is they give you either 2 or 3 days of 100% coverage, and then the other days are discounted 50%. But again, jump into the fine print and see what really is covered and not covered by these passes to see whether it makes sense to give that amount of cash out for a specific pass which you may or may not get the most out of. And that's the same with all of these passes. It's very complicated to understand whether buying these passes is a waste of money or whether it's going to save you money, which is why we developed a specific service to help you do this, to help you figure out for your exact itinerary which pass or pass combination is the best for your trip and how much money that could save you. So if you're interested in that, click on the link down below. We help dozens of people all the time. And if you've enjoyed this video otherwise, give it a thumbs up. It really helps me and the channel keep going. And subscribe if you want to get more Swiss travel information down below. Thanks for watching.